non-stop weekend where you can laugh right into the night.
We must now override your local broadcast signal from our hidden broadcast tower in a location we cannot reveal. This is the voice from the shadows, bringing you the forbidden radio signal. Radio Macabre. Radio Macabre presents The Hungry Gas Chamber, starring Michael Lane and Lee Bentley.
This is Bill Kemmler for Radio America. Before me, a stone wall. At the top, barbed wire. At each end, 200 yards apart, towers with searchlights and machine guns. The outer wall of Grigson Bay Prison Unit. Here outside in the parking lot for 50 years, by tradition, crowds gathered before dawn, brought together for personal reasons to be near the executions of some of this state's most desperate criminals. Here many walked their last mile. Until 1937, their final stop, the gallows above the prison laundry. Since, the gas chamber. Among many others, Enzio Spinelli, known as the mob's Smiling Butcher, took that walk in April 1944. Barbara Shirley, the Lawton's Hill Strangler, was one of four women who also took their last footsteps on Earth here. You hear the bustling activity. Grigson Bay Prison nears a special occasion. The old edifice, built here in 1919 on the site of an even older military prison, has stood dark and silent 25 years. The Cold Gray Face, as this place was known by its inmates, was declared obsolete and shut in 1969. But just 3 weeks from today, the prison reopens. Radio America will cover this gala event. Gala, by the way, comes from an Old English term for Gallows Day. Perhaps appropriate. For among the hundreds of new inmates who will be brought through these gates to help with the flood from other state prisons amid a tidal wave of new crime, one of note, number 449-086163, once known to millions of baseball fans as Demon Ball Jeffers Dickerson. Vast media coverage has been given Dickerson's conviction for the murder of his ex-lover and her new husband. And now he comes here to face this state's punishment, death by lethal gas. Thanks to Dickerson's own repeated request to Governor Gittu that the media cover his actual execution, and the governor's acceptance under intense public pressure, we here at Radio America will take you on that last walk with Dickerson at 5 a.m., May 14th, in our live radio special, Jeffers Dickerson, End of a Hero. From a holding cell, down an elevator along a concrete corridor to a heavy green metal door. Inside, deep in the bowels of the prison, a room with a 10 by 10 foot, 8-sided metal box with thick windows. Here, the condemned meet what Warden Duffy of San Quentin once termed the Big Sleep. And now with the effective
Okay, Shannon, I finally got these chamber blinds working right again. See? Open, shut, open, shut.
Good, raise them. We need to keep them up when we're not using the chamber. When all the reporters and everybody else gets in here, we'll lower and almost close them so we can see in, but the prisoner can't see us.
Hey, I heard you do that so that whoever's in there can't actually see the executioner's face or when he pulls the handle, so he won't know when you know, plop.
It's modern tradition. Prisoner has no eye contact with the man that's going to carry out his sentence. And we try to avoid him sitting in there like a goldfish in a bowl.
Why are there two chairs in there?
The way it was built. For doubles. We had a few of those. When we bring in Dickerson, he'll be in the left chair. A solo prisoner always is.
So real soon this hotel up there fills up, no vacancy. And down here, Mr. Demon Ball is our special guest. I'll never forget that one series no hitter he threw against the Cards in 90. Hot, man. Muy caliente. We're set. I guess we got this big sweetheart about as ready as she gonna get.
Get away from there. Not a good idea to bang on the gas chamber, Martinez. It's old, it's sprung leaks, and we just never thought it was a good idea to play around like that, okay?
Whoa, hit a nerve there, huh? Come on, Shannon. We all saw that little training video, but that don't do it. You were on the old team when Bay Unit was open before. The only one left now. You volunteered on every single gas chamber detail since 43. That's why they asked you back from North Ellis, to help us out. So what really happens when they bring Dickerson in? Come on, the play-by-play.
Later, huh? We got 3 weeks yet to finish. Now it's break time. Let's hit that icebox. Come on, let's go.
Funny, I could have sworn I turned those lights out back there.
Don't worry about it.
No, it won't take me a second. You guys go on up.
Hurry up. Don't hang around down here.
Sure, okay, Mom. Hey, what are you doing in there? How did you get in the chamber? Come on out of there. Come on now. What the hell are you doing in here? Now where'd he go? There's no place in here. Now where'd he go? There's no place in here he could hide. I didn't see him go past me. Hey, it's locked. I'm locked in here and I won't be able to... Hey, somebody, come open. I can't get this open. Somebody, can you hear me? I can't breathe. There's no air in here. Somebody, anybody, get me out of here. Oh, God.
Radio Macabre will return to the Hungry Gas Chamber. Radio Macabre now returns to Act 2 of the Hungry Gas Chamber.
It's okay, you're all right now. Come on, it's okay. It's all over. Relax.
Hey, Corbin, how the hell you lock yourself in the gas chamber, huh? I mean, how did you do that? It's supposed to be where you can't even...
There's no air.
Okay, Diana, sit down here. Shut your eyes. Don't keep looking at the chamber. Lean back. Breathe.
Give me a cigarette.
Martinez, get her some Gatorade. It's on the shelf there. See? Here. That'll do the trick, huh? Ryan Gatorade Tropical Punch, we call it. A sing, sling.
That's good. Thanks, Sharon. What made you come back?
You didn't show up in the break room. I figured something was wrong.
I could have sworn somebody was in there. You didn't see a big guy, white face, gray shirt, come out of here?
No. He would have had to come up the elevator right past us. A couple more of those sling deals and you really will be seeing things.
Why are you looking at me, Eamon?
You weren't seeing things any more than a whole lot of other people have down here.
Hold it. What lot of other people? What are you talking about?
Not right now.
Come on, Shannon. What's your deal?
Did you know I was born here? Little house on Guards Row. Went to school on the grounds. My old man was a security block guard. Killed in the fire, the 34 riot. As kids, you play cops and robbers? We played prisoners and guards. I couldn't see in, but I could stand outside the laundry and I heard the trap drop. And I saw the bodies wheeled out. I knew this would be my life's work. I was still a kid courting Carla, my wife. Her ma worked the mess hall when they set this chamber up in 37. Phasing out hanging. Gas is more humane, so they said. But that's what you thought, Corbin, when that door was shut on you in there. Then in 43, I finally became a guard. Volunteered down here. The pay bonus was pretty fat, but even so, mostly the guards would run a lottery. The ones that lost had to take gas chamber detail. Back then, everyone hated executions.
Really? Man, it's the other way around now. Me and Corbin, he was lucky to get this gig.
I'm just doing it for the extra money. Single parent, 2 kids.
Times change. Me, I did it because somehow I knew it was what I was supposed to do. Saw my first execution that winter. Leon Mikla, a Czech ironworker. Got drunk, knifed a couple of guys in a bar fight. Detail guards take turns on the last night with prisoners up at the holding cell. You sit with them during their last meal, keep them company, drink coffee, play them whatever records they want, or poker, listen to their stories, get them a chocolate malt, whatever. Mikla had sausages and kraut. Pleasant little guy. He cried about 10 minutes, but that was it. Priest came at 3 a.m., then at 4:50. Warden and the rest of the detail showed up, shackled him, and off we went.
Yeah?
The press and all the state witnesses were here when we brought him through the green door. The prisoner can invite 3, but Mikla didn't have anybody. We strapped him in. He prayed. Back there in the booth, the executioner and his backup come the night before and fill those 2 jars with sulfuric acid, and water. Then check those 2 little baskets over the 2 buckets.
Put the little cyanide eggs in, huh?
They always use both buckets, even for just one prisoner. Then Warden told Mikla it's tradition to hold your breath a little while. Let the fumes rise, then take a couple of deep breaths.
Kill him right off, huh?
Wrong. To knock him out, in theory. So, the doc hooked his stethoscope from outside. Warden nodded at the executioner. He pulled the handles. The acid trickled into the buckets. Nicola listened real still. Then the switch. The eggs dropped in. The gas rose like thin fog around Nicola's head. The warden nodded for him to breathe. He did. He slumped, and then rose up stiff with his eyes open, started banging his head against the metal brace behind the chair. Sometimes they do things like that for several minutes. Finally, they pass out, sit there for 10 minutes or so, and die from asphyxiation. Nicola did, and that's when I first really looked at this chamber, really looked at it. I saw that it had a face, see? If you look at it, there.
A face? A face?
And it was smiling.
Radio Macabre will return to the Hungry Gas Chamber. Radio Macabre now returns to Act 3 of the Hungry Gas Chamber.
Look, Shannon, you're actually saying this gas chamber has a face that smiles
me
when...
and that face were just getting to know each other then. I remember him by the food better than the faces. Little Carlos Esquivel, a mountain of tortillas, beans, green chilies. Goldman, Jewish fella, asked for a ham sandwich, said, I never tasted ham before. It's pretty good. One mean punk who almost never spoke a word asked to hear Tales from the Vienna Woods by Strauss. Warden didn't have a record, so the prison band stayed up all night, cut it on a home recorder, played it for the kid. He cried, shook our hands, thanked us, asked if we'd keep playing it over and over, even after he was in the chamber and couldn't hear it. So we did.
Shannon, you spook easy, man. Just gas chamber stuff. Sounds like you got the old bleedo hardo.
Listen, Big Mouth, this has nothing to do with right or wrong. The death penalty. Sure, I guess I wonder about justice. If there's any down here, like how only poor people wind up in here, mostly, except Dickerson. Such a big star they're afraid not to send him down. Like how they've sent down at least 7 guys I know were innocent. And like one guy, Drew, they knew was innocent, but wouldn't reprieve because his new evidence came in after the, I quote, deadline. Like the ones used as to commit suicide, like Ted Bundy. Asked somebody where he was most likely to get the chair. They said Florida. Went right down there killing. Like how most come down here for killing 1 or 2, but we pay the executioner to snuff dozens and dozens. Guess I'm just sick to death of murder, anytime, anywhere. You just haven't watched enough people choke to death in that bastard. Never saved or protected or deterred anybody. It just ate people, and it liked it. And that's all that matters. That thing, the greatest gas chamber ever built, does its job better than any machine in the world. This is about me and that thing. Look at it, standing there. You weren't down here like me when they brought in Enzio Spinelli, the smiling butcher. Fettuccine with bechamel, lemon ice. Never saw a cooler customer. Fact, you'd have thought he was off to see his barber in the morning. When they came for him, he was still cocky. Then he took one look at that chamber. Face went horrible. Started begging. Not for his life, but begging. Not for his life. No, just don't take him in there. Please, he said, take me out and shoot me, drown me, set fire to me. For the merciful love of God. He finally carried him in, kicking and screaming. I don't know if he ever could hear the warden telling him to hold his breath. Took Spinelli a full half hour before his heart stopped. Every second pure hell. Next thing, all of us hated this detail. But whoever was on the death shift on the day would all of a sudden be in a real good mood, laughing, joking. When the reporters and the sheriffs and the DAs would pour out afterwards and hit Taylor's bar, big men now real quiet and gray. We'd be in there with them, us knocking hooch back and laughing our butts off, and then it'd hit us, and we'd crawl home like slugs. I'd go down and sit by the creek for hours. Then sometimes the eggs wouldn't drop until we opened the door and tripped them by hand. Then plop, gas would boil out smelling just like rotten eggs. Then one hot night, full of reporters, Warden was going to tip Barbara Shirley when to breathe, but the gas wouldn't rise. She only got a whiff at a time, and she sat in there and choked and choked and choked. Her eyes stood out like ping pong balls. Finally, she died. We leave them in there 2 hours after they died. Then vent the gas through that stack in the roof. With her, it wouldn't vent. Even after weeks, we'd smell gas in here. Even years later, on a hot night, there were voices in there, too. One or two or a lot all at once, or screaming. Snyder heard a priest doing last rites. When he looked in, never was nobody. Ketchum and me heard Shirley choking. Couldn't mistake it, like a little girl with a whooping cough. Funny thing, because you know, she choked 7 or 8 people herself. Then the music, at night mostly. Faint, scratchy, tales from the Vienna woods. Hauptmann had a breakdown. Said he saw somebody in there staring at him hard with a big white face. And it was the way it was looking at him that made him so sick. A lot of other guards, too, saw people moving around or just sitting in there. O'Brien heard a woman calling to him inside. Help me, I can't breathe. He went in, not a soul in there. The door started to shut behind him, and the exhaust fan that sucks out air, the door and the gas was kicking on. In fact, I saw it was on when we pulled you out of there, Diana. That's why you couldn't breathe. Then we started finding the dead birds and stray dogs and cats in it. The door shut behind them and the suction fan on. Nobody even knew how they got down there, much less into the chamber. In 53, a lady we had come in to clean up. We never could get a prison detail to come in here. Her name was Teresa Maldonado. She was found dead in there, suffocated. Brooks had inventory in the storeroom that night. Said he thought all the noise was more of the same stuff. Was afraid to come in here or do anything. He said he heard a woman screaming and pounding, and then the fan would kick on, and after a little while, the screaming would stop. Then sounded like the fan would reverse. Then after a while, the screaming would start up again, and the fan would start sucking again. Went on till about dawn. After that, nobody but me'd come down here and be with the chamber alone. It ate my life. Carl and I never had any kids. I'd just come down here and sit and look at it in the face for a long time, and I knew it wanted me. And then one time I kind of came to and was sitting in there. And I started out, and then I was sitting in there again. So I got a 2x4 and went after it, and busted that glass, and I told it I knew everything. And they came and had to pull me off of it. Now I'm really worried. They're going to use the chamber on Dickerson. It's been a long time, and it's hungry. I'm going up for some cookies. Both of you need to come along, too.
He needs to take it easy. It was just my reflection in the chamber glass I saw. See? You can see Shannon's reflection in the glass now, walking out of here.
Radio Macabre will return to the Hungry Gas Chamber. Radio Macabre now returns to the conclusion of the Hungry Gas Chamber.
Well, Shannon, a big day at last. You think they got enough of us up here on the wall with enough shotguns to hold him till we can get him in the gas box? As long as he don't throw no baseballs at me.
Look at those geeks down there. Ice cream, beer, balloons, little effigies to burn, signs, T-shirts. That's all, Demon Ball. Demon Ball's gonna get the gas, gonna blow it right up and swell. JD, you better hope they got Tums in hell. Sad part's the little kids. Look at them dancing around, faces all twisted up. And those over there are on Dickerson's side, is that right? Is that what they're yelling about? All that down there's the low point. Autry, what in hell is there to party about? How can they all afford to come here, stay here, and must be 2,000 of them down there?
Drug out of their minds, but 12 tonight cops will have to go out there, drag in half of them for PI.
And murder one, because they'll be killing each other with those signs and setting fire to each other.
There he comes. That one's the wagon with Dickerson in it. I'm surprised they didn't bring him around in his limo. You really think he iced his lady?
What I think is, this is it.
What's it? What?
It's what I've been waiting for 30 years. Shannon's out of here.
Where are you going, Shannon?
I'm leaving it to that mob of goofs down there. Me, I'm gonna go see if my wife Carla's made any muffins. She makes good muffins. Jalapeno.
Hey, Hill is gonna need you on that chamber detail. Those new punks don't know what they're doing down there, Shannon. Shannon!
Eamon, why are you listening to all that on the radio?
Because I can't stand to watch it on the TV. That way I'd have to see its ugly face one more time.
I mean, why listen to it at all?
You finished with those muffins in there? I like the ones with the little jalapenos.
This is Bill Kemmler for Radio America, resuming a radio first. Our live on-the-scene coverage of the execution of former baseball star Jeffers Dickerson. It's now 7:12 a.m. Pacific. In just moments, Dickerson will be brought from his holding cell, just a few feet from here, by Warden Thomas Gilmore, and down the hall to the elevator. Following a light breakfast, a whole wheat cereal and orange juice, Dickerson spent 40 minutes in spiritual healing with the Reverend Dr. Nathan Turner. Dickerson then made a short statement. He tells his fans he is feeling at peace, rested, prepared. He also asks none of the kids out there take the wrong turn on the road of life, but instead follow the example he tried to set in his career on the diamond. The crowd standing a countdown watch outside the prison has swelled to almost 7,000. We take you out there now to Velma Barfield for Radio America's live special, Jeffers Dickerson, End of a Hero. Velma?
I'm here, Bill, but I don't know how to tell you about the sheer intensity of this massive crowd that's formed for Demon Ball Dickerson. Some weep and cheer, many more wildly celebrate the approaching moment when Dickerson will pay for the bloody crime of which he was convicted. The crowd surges closer to the prison gates, held back by guards and police. Here, guards and police. Here, just listen.
Thank you, Velma Barfield. A point. Some delay here while last-minute pinch hitters, if you will, were found for the lineup of guards on this death detail. Just minutes ago, two of the guards who first volunteered, a Diana Corbin and a Porofiro Martinez, abruptly refused to take part. Their reasons were unclear. They told us they had heard some unusual noises coming from the empty gas chamber.
Bill, that's interesting because yet another guard on the Jefferson detail, a veteran from pre-1969 staff, his name, Eamon Shannon, also resigned some 3 weeks ago.
Excuse me, Velma, the holding cell door is opening, the warden steps out, and now the Reverend Dr. Turner, with his Bible, and there he is, legendary baseball star Dickerson, shackled and handcuffed. He smiles to the media, and now guards escort him down the corridor. We've been instructed to take our seats here in the witness risers. Dickerson, strapped into the chair, has just been sealed inside the gas chamber. His final appeal to Governor Gattu was denied seconds ago. For his final statement, Dickerson simply said, the only failure is to give up. And now he sits alone, waiting. The doctor plugs his stethoscope into the socket. I'm just able to see Dickerson through the metal blinds of the gas chamber. It's odd. I've never really realized how ugly a gas chamber really is. It's almost as if it's staring back at me with a face of its... The trickling you're hearing now is the sulfuric acid draining into the buckets on the chamber floor. Now Warden Gilmore has given the nod. The executioner has thrown the switch. The cyanide eggs dropping into the buckets. What does the gas chamber seem to bulge and strain that way? Sir, is that a normal appearance of... Oh my God, Dickerson! He's writhing inside. He almost looks like he's being crushed, or squeezed, smashed to the pulp. Incredible pressure. What the hell is that noise? The seams of the gas chamber are bursting. Gas is pouring into the room in thick clouds. The chamber, it's pushing. I swear to God, look at it. It's pushing. I swear to God, look at it. It's got a face. It's laughing. The smell is like rotten eggs. Quick, get out of the way. Get out of my mouth. Kill you. Get out of my way.
Gas is pouring out of the stack atop the main prison block, settling on the crowd. They're screaming and trampling to get away. Those close to the prison appear already dead. Are you getting this, Ed? Are you? Explosion inside the prison. Hundreds are dead out here. It's coming this way. Maybe if we get in the van and shut the...
We appear to have lost that feed from the prison entirely. Apparently very many lives have been lost. There's no signal from our helicopter flying at 200 feet over the prison block either. Question for our technicians here. I wouldn't think a gas chamber with its 2 pounds of cyanide could generate enough gas or pressure to...
Eamon, where are you going?
Gonna go sit for a while. By the creek.
Gas Chamber starred Michael Lane as Eamon Shannon, Lee Bentley as Bill Kemmler, with Nina Guidry as Diana Corbin, Robert Platz as Porfirio Martinez, Alison Zollars as Velma Barfield, and Stephen Adam as Autry. Radio Macabre is written and produced by Stephen Adam and Lee Bentley. Technical producer is Chuck Tiller and Lee Bentley. Technical producer is Chuck Tiller. The program is musically scored and directed by Stephen Adam. Radio Macabre is a Mediaplex production. Copyright and all rights reserved worldwide. This has been the voice from the shadows saying good night. Good night for Radio Macabre.